I discovered the best writing tool of all time. The best. It's good if you're playing a short film, a novella, a novel, a series, or the Cosmere. Oh, you want to know what the tool is? Obviously. Well, it's simple. It's the board. Now, I know this may seem a little old school, but you're literally talking to a guy who uses more notebooks and notepads in his planning than most people. In this video, I'm going to give you my best argument on why you should consider using the board in your planning of your next novel. So, are you ready? I said... What's up, my fellow scribe? Tim here. Welcome to my channel, where I take my 20 years of writing experience from triumphs to failures and share them with you to help you along your writing journey. Today, we are starting a new mini-series on the best writing tool ever. Best writing tool ever. That's what we're gonna call it. All right, but you better be right, or I'm gonna fuck. And this tool I have fallen in love with. Oh, God, I love this tool. The tool is called the board. I love this tool so much. I want to convince you to give the board a try when you're planning your next novel. But like I said, it's a new miniseries. So it's going to be broken up into 3 episodes. The first episode is going to be pros and cons. Next episode will be physical versus digital boards. And then finally, we will wrap up this 3-part series with my personal experience using the board in all my current projects. Really? My experience? I see what you're doing. You're trying to get around saying in my... Now, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Let YouTube know that you like this video and others would like it too. And if you haven't already, subscribe. You know you want to. If you like this video, you'll like my other content on this channel. With that out of the way, let's get to the pros and cons. Pro number 1, always in sight. Pro number 1, always in sight. When you have a physical board on the wall of either your office or your bedroom, or both, since they're the same thing, it's there. It's a quick look to the right or the left or up from your screen, and there you get to see your novel in whatever form it's in. Bullets, structure, broken out in structure, just ideas. It's there for you to see. You can be on your computer, not even working on the novel, and you know it's there. You can be working on your website, answering some emails, putting your next YouTube video together, and it's right there, bearing down on you, beaming down on you, and you know it, and it's going to be helpful. So, it's somewhere where anyone could just walk right in, see what I'm working on, and steal my ideas. Great. Con number 1, it's on the wall. Since the board is on the wall, it's not very portable. The only way it becomes portable is if you take all the note cards off it and bring them with you. Which means when you come back, you have to put it back on the board, which means remembering where everything goes. Yeah, you're not gonna do that. Which comes down to this. If you decide to leave the office and say go to Starbucks to do some work outside, new atmosphere, different vibes,
whatever,
and you don't have everything on the board written down somewhere, you don't have that information then. That means you could end up in a situation I have found myself in
too many times.
And that is, I'm starting to work on a piece of the story that I have sworn is written down in one of my notebooks, and it's not there. Or I didn't bring that notebook, or
whatever.
And now I can't focus. All I can think of is I need this piece of information that racking your brain to remember that information, and you can't. And now your productivity is just shot. Here's a thought. Maybe take a picture, with that rectangular slab in your pocket. Pro number 2, reinforcing the story. In pro number 1, I said it's on the wall and it's always there, which is just enough to keep it on the forefront of your brain when you look at it. But it's also a second level. It's also keeping it on the forefront of your subconscious. Every time you look at your novel on the board, it reinforces that below the surface. So even when it's not in the forefront of your conscious mind, it's on the forefront of your unconscious, it's subconscious. Wow, I'll get it right at some point.
Which is great.
Because I've mentioned multiple times on this channel that I rely on my subconscious solving problems. Every time I look up on my board, it reinforces that story. On the board behind me is my short film, Guardian Angel. On Act 2, there is a note card called The Twist. I'm not gonna tell you what it says because
spoilers.
Every time I look to the right, because that's where that board is when I'm on my computer, and read the twist of Act 2, it reinforces that in my subconscious. Now, if I read what's actually on the note card below the twist title, it's a double blammy. Bam bam! Because it now remembers the twist of Act 2, and it can make sure what's actually on that note card is what the subconscious remembers. And if it doesn't remember correctly, I fixed it and now it's correct.
You see where I'm going with this?
Awesome. So the story I'm already struggling to write is hovering over me, applying more pressure, and it's not like I don't already have enough goddamn con. Number 2, anyone can see it. With the board being on the wall of your office or bedroom or dining room, wherever the board is, people can just walk into that room and bam, they see your ideas. There's a simple solution to this though. You know, if people are coming over, just don't let people walk into your office or your bedroom. Now if it's in your living room or dining room, that's on you. That doesn't always work. The other solution is, if people are coming over, just take the board off the wall and cover it. This way, if someone accidentally walks into the bedroom or your office, they won't see it. But what happens if someone just pops on over unexpectedly? Well, they walk into your office, because that's where you are, and they see your ideas. To me, this honestly isn't really a problem, because you just make it clear to everyone you don't come into my office, my bedroom, wherever my board is, without permission.
Even if I'm there.
I said this already. Pro number 3. It's great for brainstorming. I love to brainstorm. Oh, brainstorming is so much fun. I love doing it on mind mapping softwares for the most part. But I do use a lot of notepads and notebooks for brainstorming, as well as just asking myself questions. And there's just something about doing it by hand that's just awesome! And there's studies that show that if you write something down by hand, you're more likely to remember it than if you type it. Writing down questions about my novel or ideas and then pinning them to a board just feels like a natural fit for me. Look at it this way. Let's say I'm working on a project. I have my notepad going. I have come up with some absolute awesome ideas, and I want to make sure I remember them.
Reinforcement in my brain.
So what do? I pull out some index cards. I write each idea or question on their own separate card, and then pin it to the board so I see it every time I look right or left, depending on what project it is. That's awesome! What about the rest of us who don't use an ungodly amounts of notebooks and notepads? Con number 3, easily messed up. If you've been a long time watching of this channel, you know that I love Scrivener. And one of the most common arguments to use Scrivener's Cork Board is the fact that if you use physical note cards, they can easily get messed up. Here's an example. You're in the living room, you've arranged the outline of your novel on the floor. All the cards, just picking and moving them as you see fit. Finally get it perfect. Then your significant other or child lets the dog in and it runs right through the living room, right through the center of your note cards, sending them flying. Now you have to start all over. But let's say maybe you're smart enough not to do it on the floor where the dog could run through it, or anyone could run through it. Maybe you decide to put it on a table, and same situation. It's perfect. The outline's done. The note cards are in the perfect spot. Then your children come home and they just toss their stuff on the table, not looking at it.
Because they're children.
Bam! There goes the note cards, flying everywhere. It's messed up and you gotta start from scratch. And this, sir, madame, is why children are the spawn of... When you're doing physical cards, them getting messed up is a risk of having it. But let's just be honest, if you're stupid enough to do it somewhere where it can get messed up that easily by a dog or your children. But here's another question for you. Why do the organization physically?
We live in a digital world.
Why would you do it physically at all? Oh, right. You just said that. When I was setting up my novel
Board.
I didn't do it physically. I'm not dumb. This never happened. ever. I didn't do it physically because, well, I had a lot of stuff that I had to fit on there, so I wanted to make sure it was all gonna fit. I used Photoshop. I wrote them all out and pinned them as I wrote them. This way, no risk get messed up. Even if you do it digitally and then write out everything physically, there's still a chance the board will get messed up. What if the board falls off the wall? Everything on it, all of it or most of it, is gonna probably fall off. And then you will have to start all over. So what did you think of the pros and cons of using the board? Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on those pros and cons. Can you think of other pros and cons for using the board? Down below, do that thing. If you haven't already, smash that like button and tell YouTube you enjoyed this video. And subscribe so you know when all my content, and especially when digital versus physical, the best writing tool ever video goes live. Do you want to know if show don't tell is good advice or not? Click the video to my right here to find out that answer. Trust me, I go into it deep. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Bye.